Hey folks, welcome back to My Kitten Reads. I'm Eleanor and this is going to be a readathon vlog. Today is, on the Saturday, is the Dewey's 24-hour reverse readathon, so it actually starts at 10 AM in the morning for me, which is in about 10 minutes, which is better than 10 o'clock at night, so yay! I'm probably going to be taking this one fairly a relaxed readathon, particularly because I woke up with a headache this morning. It's fading, but yeah, I'm not feeling fabulous, so I'm not going to push myself too hard. I don't have a set TBR either. I have options. I've just started a class in historical fiction, so I have started the first text that we will be studying. The first full text, we'll be studying some excerpts this coming week. But so my main goal, I think, is to try and finish that text. I've been listening to my English department's podcast this last week, which I didn't know existed, but has apparently existed since 2016. Who knows? So I've been listening to selected episodes in the back catalogue on texts that I know, which of course has made me want to reread a whole bunch of classics. So I will probably pick up at least one of those. I also am aware that I really need to do something towards my goal of reading book subscription box books. So that is also an option for today as well. The first thing I'm probably actually going to do is go to the gym. So my current gym books are Say Yes to the Marquess by Tessa, which I'm getting close to finishing, and Tea and Sympathy read on Tansy Rayner Roberts's Sheep Might Fly podcast. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with. I will probably at least try and do a chapter of the Tessa. It depends on my mood though. I might keep going with that, or I might switch to the podcast. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit vague. So the podcast might actually be, yeah. But we'll see how I go. That's the plan anyway, is to start by going to the gym and reading whatever I read there, and then coming home and, yeah, trying to focus on reading, but also taking it easy because I'm a bit, I've had headaches a bit this week, so I don't want to push myself too hard. But I couldn't resist signing up when I saw that it was the reverse readathon this weekend, because I do have a lot to read. Alright, see you later. Hey, so I'm back from the gym. I finished the Tessa book, Say Yes to the Marquess, so yay! And I listened to 2 more episodes of Tea and Sympathetic Magic by Tansy Rayner Roberts on the podcast. And did really well on my run, so yay. I still have a headache, so I'm gonna get myself some food, and then I suspect I'm probably gonna keep listening to Tea and Sympathetic Magic, because the headache's sort of around here, so listening is fine, reading might be a bit of a strain, so I'm probably gonna take, not sure if I can take another painkiller yet. I'll need to check, but yeah, so probably going to be listening to that next, and maybe reading something easy, like I picked up Anne of Green Gables for a reread this week, so maybe that. Yeah, but you know, I had a successful start at least. Hey guys, time for another update. It's 2:45 in the afternoon. I'm cold, as you can see, because we're having terrible weather at the moment in Canberra. It was raining really heavily earlier. But I have done some more reading. So I did finish listening to Tea and Sympathetic Magic by Tansy Rayner Roberts on the Sheep Might Fly podcast, which was delightful. Then I had a bit of a rest and something to eat while painkillers kicked in again, because still struggling to shake this headache. It's a bit better now, but I also don't want to push myself. And I have read a decent chunk of Anne of Green Gables, which is of course a reread, but is quite comforting while I try and keep myself warm and try and look after my head. I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break now, though, because I'm starting to feel a bit fatigued. Weird how sometimes reading can make you feel fatigued, but I suppose with a headache, it's a thing. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then I'll probably read some more of Anne, or I might pick up The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishigori. I've probably pronounced that completely wrong, but that's the book that I'm reading for uni. So if I don't pick up Anne, if I feel a bit more focused, I might pick that up because I'm only a chapter in, so I've got a lot to read. But yeah, that's where I'm up to at sort of 2:45 in the afternoon. I'm back. It's nearly 8 o'clock in the evening. I think I've done a pretty good job this afternoon. I'm still fighting a headache. It's feeling better now since I took my last set of painkillers. But I had to stop reading at various times during the afternoon and have a bit of a rest. So, it's not the intense readathon that I usually have with Deweys. But I've done reasonably well. I've just finished Anne of Green Gables. So that was a lovely reread. I love Anne of Green Gables. It's a great book. So I finished that reread. I've also managed a few chapters of The Buried Giant by Kasuo Ishiguro, which is the text that I'm reading for uni. I'm about a quarter of the way through it. It's good because it's a Nobel Prize winner, but it's also not quite my taste, so it's not really good for binge reading. So I'm kind of just reading a chapter at a time. I'll continue reading some more of this. I'm probably going to pick up something else to reread. I've been wanting to reread some classics this week that I've been listening to podcasts about for my English department's podcast. So I'm thinking I might pick up The Castle of Otranto, which I did for my Gothic literature class a couple of years ago. Either that and depending on timing, Lady Audley's Secret, which I read for the same class, which I remember really enjoying. Curious. Castle of Atranto is like practically the original Gothic novel. And it's hilariously bad. But I kind of feel like rereading it since I just listened to a podcast about it. Same about Lady Audley's Secret, which I really quite enjoyed. So I might pick up one of those after I've read some more of this and see what I do for the evening. I probably don't want to stay up too late, given that I've had a headache all day. I'm also not going to set an alarm for tomorrow morning. The readathon finishes at 10 in the morning, so I should be awake by then and at least get a little bit of reading done. But it's the weekend and I was up early this morning, so I would like to be able to sleep in if I need to. Hopefully, if I don't wake up with a headache again, which could be the weather's fault because it's raining again. But yes, so that's my plans for the next little while, is some more Buried Giant and maybe some Castle of Atranto or Lady Audley's Secret. Hey, so the readathon is over. In fact, it finished about 4 hours ago. But yeah, I was pretty successful last night, not so successful this morning. My headache is gone, so yay. But I just had no motivation this morning. So last night I did, in fact, reread Horace Walpole's The Castle of Atranto, which is ridiculous. It's from the 1700s, I think. So it's not surprising. It's ridiculous. It's considered the first graphic novel. It's more of a novella. It's only about, the actual novel itself is only about 100 pages. But yes, I reread that last night, which was fun. And then last night and this morning, I did eventually manage to read some more of The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishiguro. I'm pretty much exactly halfway through now. According to Goodreads, I am literally 50% of the way through. The chapter I read this morning was like nearly 40 pages. So, that wasn't too bad. I woke up just completely unmotivated and didn't want to get out of bed. I slept in a bit, which I intended because I deserve at least one sleep in on the weekend. But I am slow. It's not really a book you can read fast, I'm finding. It's a little bit of a slow read, but I am halfway through and we don't study it until not this coming week, but the week after. So I've still got time to get through the rest of it. But yes, I did actually read another chapter of this morning and I've made some good progress. So basically my wrap up for the Dewey's 24-hour reverse readathon is that I finished the last little bit of Tessa's Say Yes to the Marquess. I finished listening to most of Tansy Rayner Roberts' Tea and Sympathy. I finished my reread of Anne of Green Gables, which I was only a small way into, so I read most of Anne of Green Gables. I read a good chunk of Kazuo Ishiguro's The Brave Giant, and I reread Horace Walpole's The Castle of Atranto. So that's not too bad for a readathon I spent mostly with a headache on verging on migraine. And so I was taking it very casually. So I'm quite pleased with what I've read this weekend. So that's really awesome. And now I can go and do the other things I've been avoiding all weekend, like chores and actual studies for this week. Bye.